listen, man. Listen. Hey, it's going to be a little bit of a sports story. Like I always tell you guys, some of you, two or three of you guys ain't into sports. I'm like, okay, just run with the story anyways. I don't know if we're going to throw this one online because it's going to be a little bit different today. But hey, back in the day, I tell you, I was at this little. I was a young guy at the time, but I was hearing this scout named Proverb Jacobs for the 49ers. This is very early in the 80s. You know, you guys followed football then, so they didn't have all the combines and all this going. You know, you want to go look at a player. You know, sometimes you'd like you and the 49ers and then Green Bay Packers and then maybe the Patriots would come bring in a bunch of guys, and those three teams would watch them. This is before the draft. They want to find out who they're going to draft, right? Anyways, Proverbs is telling the story. He's passed away since, but he goes, yeah, we kind of got over on this team one time because I really wanted this guy. I think it was from Nebraska. His last name Jones. We really liked this guy. You know, and he could play. I mean, this guy could really, really play. But we were afraid everybody else was going to draft him. We kind of had as a second and third round pick. So, you know, what we did was, well, we got another guy in the community, and we had him come to the camp and said his name was Johnny Jones. So they got a guy from the neighborhood. So the teams came in to watch these guys play and practice before the draft, and this guy couldn't play at all. And you know, Johnny Jones, Nebraska, he had it all going, right? So it's a one-day workout, and the guy's terrible, man. He couldn't even make like a high school football starter. The guy's overweight, couldn't move very well, but they knew he was a fake, right? 49ers knew it because they brought him in, right? They had his agent. He called his agent and says, hey, tell Johnny Jones, the real Johnny Jones, you know, go to Florida, go to Jupiter for the week, but don't come to this tryout, right? This is unbelievable stuff, right? So they bring this guy in, Johnny Jones, and they're all, look, that's Johnny Jones, Nebraska, you know, ate himself out of, he can't. So the draft comes around, right? And nobody's picking Johnny Jones. The 49ers so anyways, they pick him. It was the 49ers, right? They picked this guy, and he can play, man. And so anyways, preseason comes around, and they're you know, first scrimmage or whatever is against like the Green Bay Packers, and they see this guy Jones, Johnny Jones. And he goes up to him and goes, that's not the guy that was at the tryout camp. Whoa. And he goes, you know, this is before all these laws and stuff in the NFL. So anyways, we're like, oh, yeah, that's on you, man. It's an intel game, and you ain't got enough. That's what he said. It's an intel game, and you ain't got enough intel. You know, obviously the 49ers had a pretty good run in the 80s. You guys know that story. Well, kind of lead in today about, you know, if you ain't got the intel, man, you're going to get duped up, right? And the intel is the Bible. You got to be in the Bible. And I'm going to kind of give you a warning on that. I'm so fortunate that some of you guys sent me some really great stuff. And I'm going to play one today because I couldn't do justice talking about it. It was just an unbelievable 2-minute video. I couldn't say it any better. You know, when somebody says something, I can't top that. We're going to play that. But before I lead into that, it's quite interesting that some of you cats, you're getting duped up because you got no intel. You're getting duped up because you ain't no intel. Hey, and I brought something today, and I know maybe some of you guys are Masons, so, you know, don't get on my case if you're a Mason and I'm growing your confidence. This is interesting. When I was lost as hell for many, many years, you know, my hobby was, I'm a weird dude, man. My hobby was studying false gospels and stuff. Well, this is actually the Masonic Bible, Morals and Dogma. So, you know, I don't want anybody to stab me out the door if you're a Mason, all right? Just kind of blew your cover a little bit. But it's quite interesting that, you know, guys that are in that, they're trying to find truth, man. I don't blame a guy for being a Mason or a Mormon or whatever. They're trying to find truth. They got a different book, man. You know, but that book can't bring you the truth, right? They try their best to make you a good, you know, good dude. Helps you not play out on your wife. Helps you, you know, be more moral in the community. You're not doing dope. It says, you know, trying to make a good guy better. The whole bit, man. On the outside, you're kind of doing the thing. But you're still getting duped, man. You're like the Green Bay Packers or whatever, man. Because you ain't got the intel. And you need the intel. So a few of you guys the last few weeks have sent me a couple videos, man. Hey, this is my guy, man. You got to watch this minister. He's our guy. And I watched it for like 3 minutes. I'm like, man, you're getting duped. And you guys that are hearing in the false gospels, you're so duped you don't even know you're in false gospels. You think, yeah, I'm talking to the guy next to you at the table. No, I'm talking to you. So let me give you some things you might want to be careful about a little bit. Is usually the dude's very charismatic. He tries to get you in an emotional state. Talks about your feelings a lot. So he castrates you right in front of your wife in the church service. always tells you how rich he is or how successful he is, and then he ends up telling you how many people he has converted. He has converted. Man, those are warning flags. 2 minutes of that, I'd be running out the door. 2 minutes of that. But you ain't got the intel because you're not biblically literate enough, so you just go right along with it, up and crying like the minister, talking to everyone about, hey, my pastor saved 2,000 people last week, right? Next thing you know, you're giving him money. It's crazy stuff, man. You're getting duped. And you're duped like I was duped for many years because I was biblically illiterate. I didn't have the intel. It was a great thing on the shelf. I put a coffee on, but I never read it, man. I never read it. And then as I read it, I wanted to know, who is this Jesus Christ? Because the Bible tells us, really, I'm going to segue into this, is that we got one shot, man. The other day, I had a couple guys stand up that were 80 years old. We gave them that was kind of cool, 80 years old. I just wanted to see, not many guys are 80 years old. Y'all dead before then, man. That's what it was, man. Y'all dead. Hey, I rest my case, man. The Walking Dead on my left, right? I rest my case, right? Man, I got the intel right on my left. You guys got to be in the Word, including me, man. Or we're going to get duped up and we're going to get into stuff we don't need to be involved in. And right now, we're facing death. We talked the other day, guillotine's on the neck. We ain't going to live very long. And we want to get back to our Father in heaven. He tells us in His Word, we got one shot. Jesus Christ. This can't help you. Might give you some social points with your wife, or joining the Rotary Club, or the Elks Club, or coming to the Donut Group, whatever, or you're a pastor down the street, or you're a bishop, or whatever. Whatever. You got to be in the Word, and only the Lord Jesus can help us get back to our Father. Guys, I'm going to end on this a little different day, because a guy sent me a video last Friday, and I was like, it was an Alistair Begg video. I can't say it better than that. It was a 2-minute video on Thief on the Cross, which is my favorite story. But I listened to it quite a few times, and I thank whoever sent me that video, that I was like, man, this is the intel they got to know. This is what they got to know. The Bible's number one, but this supplementation of this video, I don't want anyone to leave the room without hearing this. We're going to end on that in a second. But this whole thing came to my heart because I know I was sitting in rooms like this. And, Coach, basketball is, we're always talking about the Lord and coaches' clinics and all that stuff. And I didn't know the Lord, but I kind of wanted to at the time. And I didn't know the Bible at all. I'm just doing my thing, whatever, okay? But I know some of you here want to know God. You really want to know God. Or you're early in your walk and you're like, yeah, I want to know more about Him. I took it upon myself, first of all, be in the Word. But we have some guys here. Hey, Rich, will you raise your hand? Ronnie, Hank, and Marty. Can you guys raise your hand for a second? I'll just look at those guys real quick. It's not my shtick. I'm pretty bad one-on-one with dudes, but they actually, you can go see them and meet with them and have coffee with them. And they're very grounded in the Word and mature in their walk with God. So for any guys here that are maybe, hey man, I want to know more about Him. I want to get in the Word and I'm going to go to the Lord. But hey, maybe I want to have a coffee with one of these guys. I think that would be a great thing. And I know that would have been a blessing to me because, I was just talking to the wrong guys as well. But I want to leave you with this for the guys that don't know Him yet. Enjoy the video. It's a 2-minute video. And I can't say it any better. And the guy in the video really helped me in my walk. Lost as hell. I didn't know much about the Lord. I talked about Him a lot, but I didn't know Him at all. And I started listening to some of his videos, and you can see where he directs it. I'll let you watch it, but he's going to direct it back to God. That is our money ticket. I'm going to end on the video. Again, fellas, I'm glad you're here today. Little different message. Remember, the Lord loves you very, very much. If you don't know Him yet, get in the Word and go to Him direct tonight. And go ask to know Him tonight because He loves you so, so very much. He says in His Word, I'm right there. And I'll run to you. But Dana's going to play this video. And after the video, I'll probably just shut it down in 10 seconds. But I hope you guys really, really enjoy this. It's 2-minute long. And I hope to see all you guys back for donuts next week. Enjoy the video. Here we go,
the thief
Dan.
on the cross. I can't wait to find that fellow one day to ask him, how did that shake out for you? Because you were cussing the guy out with your friend. You'd never been in a Bible study. You never got baptized. You didn't know a thing about church membership, and yet you made it. You made it. How did you make it? That's what the angel must have said. You know, like, what are you doing here? Well, I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? Well, because I don't know. Well, you know, excuse me, let me get my supervisor. They go get the supervisor ranger. So, wait, just a few questions for you. First of all, are you clear on the doctrine of justification by faith? Guy said, I never heard of it in my life. And what about, let's just go to the doctrine of Scripture immediately. This guy's just staring. And eventually in frustration, he says, on what basis are you here? And he said, the man on the middle cross said, I can come. Now, that is the only answer. That is the only answer.
Hey, you know, and also today, I thought, because I know some of you guys I know semi-well. I know some of you guys, you don't dump your problems on any other dudes. I know that. But once in a while, I know you'll say, hey, what should I do in this situation? Or you'll ask other guys. And so I'll tell you, we're going to just start off with a 1-minute little silent prayer. And, you know, we're just going to bow our heads there. And God tells us, guys, bring it to me. He says, cast all your burdens on me, meaning him. All right? Not the guys at your table. And I'll just go to the Lord direct. We're just going to do that for 45 seconds, 1 minute. We could just cast quietly if you have any burdens or you want to pray for anybody. Just quietly go to the Lord real quick.